What is up, everybody? Watt007 here, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links box review video. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new box that got announced in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links called Truth Universe, which is going to be adding Malefic cards, DDD cards, and so much other stuff that we're going to be taking a look at in today's video. So if you guys are excited for today's box review video, you know what to do. Hit the like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Duel Links content. I'll be doing a box review stream when the box comes out on April 30th. Without further ado, let's go take a look at each UR and SR card, because those are going to be the cards I'm going to be covering in today's video. Is just those two, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's get into today's box review video. So the first UR card we're going to be taking a look at, which is the box cover card, is Malefic Stardust Dragon. This is an 8-star dragon effect monster that states cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one Stardust Dragon from your extra deck, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. There only can be one face-up Malefic monster on the field. Face-up field spell cards cannot be destroyed by effects. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. If there's no face-up field spell card in the field, destroy this card. This card has 2,500 attack and 2,000 defense. Now, for my thoughts on this card, I'm not too sure how good this card is. I did a quick look at all the other Malefic cards in this box, and on paper, Malefic Stardust Dragon by itself is not good whatsoever. Like, this card is not good. There's not really much benefit of summoning this card over Stardust Dragon, but I have noticed there is some interesting things. So first of all, there is a card in this box called Malefic Paradox Dragon, which is a 10-star monster, and to synchro summon into it, you need Malefic Parallel Gear, plus one non-tuner Malefic monster, and this card is 4,000 attack and 4,000 defense, and you can use Malefic Parallel Gear, which is a 2-star tuner, so you can use your 8-star Malefic Stardust Dragon. You can use the 2-star gear right here to then synchro summon into Malefic Paradox Dragon. That's the only combo that I can really see right here, but Malefic Stardust Dragon by itself, not that good of a card. You're going to need to use the other Malefic cards in this box, which we'll take a look at, like Paradox Gear, Malefic Territory, and whatnot. We'll take a look at those cards later, but I think Malefics is literally just, hey, this is something from the anime, technically the movie, Bonds Beyond Time. This is the cover card because, you know, people love to get the anime cards. I personally want to get Malefic Stardust Dragon because it looks cool and it's from the Bonds Beyond Time movie, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So there you go right there, but at least from what I can tell, this card by itself, not so good whatsoever. If I'm missing something with Malefics, especially when I review all the other Malefic cards, you guys can tell me in the comment section down below how good they are. But yeah, Malefic Stardust Dragon, it's an eh. I think it's just the seller card for the box, which is why it's in the cover card and whatnot, so there you go. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Ancient Pixie Dragon, and I called it, boys. In one of my leak videos, I called it that this was going to be in the next main box. I'm glad I'm right. Ancient Pixie Dragon right here, which we have talked about before on the channel, but I'll talk about it again because this card's really cool. This is a dark 7-star Dragon Synchro Effect monster. It takes one tuner plus one or more non-tuner monsters. After resolving a field spell card that was activated during your turn, draw one card. You'll can activate this effect of Ancient Pixie Dragon once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one face-up attack to the monster in the field, destroy that target. There must be a face-up field spell card on the field to activate and resolve this effect. This card has 2,100 attack, 3,000 defense, and for the origin of this card, this was actually used by Luna in the manga. Luna and Leo were more of evil type of characters in the manga. The manga for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D is pretty wild, but still, this card's really cool. Once per turn, you can target attack to your monster field and destroy it. You can draw a card after a field spell is activated. This card is just really cool in my opinion. Definitely happy to see this card in the game. This could be a useful 7-star Synchro monster in a deck that can easily summon into Synchro monsters and utilize field spell cards. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at DDDs, and let me tell you what, boys and girls, I do not know much about DDDs. The only thing I do know about DDDs is the fact that this is an archetype that was introduced during the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 era, and it's pretty crazy to think that we're going to be getting this archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. You guys may or may not have noticed, but they keep adding Arc 5 archetypes in the game. Like Luna Lights was a recent example. It was an archetype that was introduced during the Arc 5 era, and now it's in Duel Links. So the fact that we're getting DDDs now is very interesting. Maybe we won't get an Arc 5 world in Yu-Gi-Oh! That'd be pretty crazy, but nonetheless, though, we do have DDD Flame King, and I don't know how to pronounce the last part right here, but this is a UR card. It's a fire 6-star effect monster, Fiend Fusion effect. To fusion summon to this card, you need 2 DD monsters. If another DD monsters is special summoned to your field while I control this face-up card, except during the damage step, you can target a DD monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And you can use this effect of DDD Flame King once per turn. This card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can add, or you can target one Dark Contract card in your graveyard and add to your hand. The card has 2,000 attack, 1,500 defense. I'm guessing this is a UR card because, one, it's an easy DD monster to fusion summon into, because it only needs 2 of any DD monsters to summon into this card. And on top of that, when this card does get destroyed, you can target a Dark Contract card and add it back to your hand. That's going to be useful because, at least from what I do know about this archetype, Dark Contract cards is actually what gets the deck going. So the fact that you can recycle the Dark Contract cards from your graveyard back onto the field if this card does get destroyed means you could potentially go into another combo. So that's probably why this card's a UR card. And yeah, I'm not going to know the full potential of this card, but I can't wait to read all these DD cards in today's review video because I'm genuinely curious if this is going to be the next meta deck, because it could easily be. Next up, we have another Malefic card called Malefic Paradox Gear. This is a dark 1-star machine effect monster. If a face-up field spell card is on the field, you can tribute this card and special summon 1 Malefic Parallel Gear from your deck. Then add 1 Malefic monster from your deck to your hand, except Malefic Paradox Gear. If a Malefic monster would banish a monster to special summon itself by its own way, you could banish this card or you control or in your graveyard instead. You can only use the effect of Malefic Paradox Gear once per turn. This card has 0 attack, 0 defense, but this is definitely a card that's going to get the combos going. The fact that you can search out for Paradox Gear and one of your Malefic cards is pretty broken because you can use this card to search out for your parallel gear, and then you can add either a Stardust Dragon or Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then yeah, go for the Synchro Summon of Malefic Paradox Dragon. So that's kind of the cool combos right there. And you can also use this card to sacrifice for your Malefic monsters, so instead of wasting, you know, other stuff, right? Because I think like what Malefic Stardust Dragon states, you can normal summon or set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing a Stardust Dragon from your extra deck, cannot be special summoned by other ways. I think if I'm reading Malefic Paradox here correctly, you can use this card instead to sacrifice itself to then summon Malefic Stardust Dragon. So really cool right there, that's for sure. Good card for the Malefic archetype. I still don't think Malefics are going to be that good, but they definitely do have some cool cards to really go for some combos. So I do want to try out this deck and see if it's any good. So there you go right there. So the next card we're going to be taking a look at is DD Swirl Slime, which is a 2-star dark UR card from this box. This is a Fiend Effect monster that states if this card is in your hand, you can fusion summon 1 DDD fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand as fusion materials, including this card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a DD monster from your hand. You only can use the effect of DD Swirl Slime once per turn. This card is crazy cool. I never read this card before, but I can see why this is a UR card, because one, you use DD Swirl Slime as the poly and as a target for DD Flame King. So all you need to summon it to DD Flame King is just Swirl Slime and any other DD monster, which is crazy good. So that's awesome right there. You can also banish this card from your graveyard, especially summon a DD monster from your hand. So if you have a big DD monster in your hand, or if you have another DD monster to go for some extending combos, you can use Swirl Slime's ability after you just fusion summon to then summon another DD monster in the field, potentially go into a Synchro Summon into, you know, High Gust King, or summon into a big DD monster. So Swirl Slime, that's really cool. This is awesome right here. And honestly, I think I definitely want to try DDs. If I can get 3 Swirl Slime, we're in good hands, boys. I definitely think Swirl Slime would definitely be a card to get 3 of, that's for sure. So that's awesome. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at a card called Degrade Buster, which, fun fact, this is a Cyberse monster, and this is the first ever UR Cyberse monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is awesome right here. This card right here is a fire 7-star Cyberse effect monster that states, cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 Cyberse type monsters from your graveyard. You can target 1 monster opponent controls with a higher attack than this card, quick effect, banish it until the end phase. You only can use this effect of Degrade Buster once per turn. This card has 2500 attack, 2500 defense. So I do like the fact that it does have 2500 attack and defense, so if this card does get switched to defense position by a Spirit Kuriboh, it still has a beefy defense to be able to handle most monsters. I wish that its effect that states you can target a monster opponent controls with a higher attack and banish it to the end phase. I wish it was kind of like a permanent effect, because this card compared to other cards is not going to be as good, but then again, some of the Cypress cards that we do have in this box could potentially make this card pretty good, because you can probably go for some crazy combos and stuff. And I mean, at the end of the day, this is a special summon card. You just need to banish 2 Cypress monsters for your graveyard to summon this guy, which is not too bad at all. So I guess it's easily able to get summoned, and on top of that, you can play its effect to kind of get rid of your opponent's monsters and go for a little direct attack and win the duel. So cool card right here. Awesome to see Cypresses in Duel Links. This is awesome right here. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at this card called Dark Dust Spirit, which is a 6-star Earth Zombie Spirit effect monster. Cannot be special summoned during the end phase. The turn this card is normal summon or flip face up, return it to the hand. When this card is normal summon or flip face up, destroy all other face up monsters in the field. This card has 2200 attack, 1800 defense. Now this card is pretty interesting right here because of the fact that when this card is summoned, you can destroy all other face up monsters on the field. So this is basically a board wipe that you can also do a 2200 direct attack, which is pretty cool. Now you still got to worry about your opponent's defense, like spell and trap cards, so you gotta worry about their back row, but still, the fact that this card is a board wipe that can pop everything on the field is actually kind of cool. And I can definitely see some people figuring out some cheeky little combos with Dark Dust Spirit, so that's probably why this card's a UR card, because it's just a free board wipe per turn if you can summon this card. Still, you only contribute summon it, you can't special summon it, but zombie cards do have ways to special summon other zombie cards, like you can combo it with Plague Spreader Zombie, use Plague Spreader Zombie's ability to special summon it onto the field. tribute it off for Dark Stuff Spirit, blow up the entire field, and hopefully go for a 2200 direct attack. So there's a chance that this card could be toxic. I don't think it'll be OP yet, but there's if anybody's smart enough, they can figure out a good use for this card, that's for sure, because it is a free ward wipe. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Miscellaneousaurus. We got some Dino Support in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I'm glad that the leaks were correct, and I predicted that, yes, this card's going to be in the next main box. This card is a 4-star Fire Dinosaur Effect monster. During your player's main phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. During this main phase, Dinosaur-type monsters you control are unaffected by opponent's activated effects. This effect's really good because if you're going to go into your Dinosaur combos, you don't have to worry about your opponent's activated effects, and therefore you can easily just go for the combos you want to go for. Another thing that this card can do is that you can banish any number of Dinosaur-type monsters from your graveyard, including this card. Special summon one Dinosaur-type monster from your deck with a level equal to the total number of monsters banished to activate this effect, but destroy it during the end phase. You can use the effect of Miscellaneousaurus once per turn. Card 1800 attack and 1000 defense. This card is crazy good because of the fact that you could special summon a Dinosaur-type monster from your deck using this card and other cards in your graveyard to get a free special summon, which gives you access to summoning into a boss monster, like any of the, what are they called? I need to look them up real quick, but basically any of the Tyranno cards that Hasselberry uses with a ton of attack, you can use that with Miscellaneousaurus and just special summon one of those for free, which is really cool right here. It does suck that you do have that monster that you just summoned with Miscellaneousaurus to get destroyed, but the fact that you're basically getting a free summon from your deck for a big boss monster is crazy good. This card is crazy good because it just doesn't really have that much restrictions either, so you can go for some crazy combos with this card. Like, this is a very good Dinosaur Support card, and I can't wait to give this a shot. Maybe I'll build a little D deck soon, boys, because of this miscellaneous card right here. I'll build a ultimate little D deck for you guys. So I'm looking forward to it, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. This card is awesome. Hopefully I can get 3 copies of the card for my pack opening, that's for sure. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at this card called Just Break. I'm actually really hyped for this card because this card states, activate only when your opponent declares an attack against a face-up normal monster you control. Destroy all monsters on the field except face-up attacks with normal monsters. I am excited about this because of the fact that this is a great card for Geminis. When Geminis are not Gemini summoned, they're treated as normal monsters. So you can use Justy Break to keep your Gemini monsters on the field. Your opponent will try to attack you and you're like, Justy Break, pop all the cards on the field. So I'm extremely happy about this card because this card is going to be the next evolution for Geminis. I don't think this card alone will make Geminis top tier, but there is a small chance that it could make them top tier because Geminis still have Supervise, Gemini Break, I forgot what the card was called, Gemini Spark, there we go, it's been a while since I've used that card, Gemini Spark, which is awesome, and just so many other cards that are awesome to really get the things going. And even if you pop one of your Gemini monsters that's now a Gemini monster, they're most likely going to have Supervise equipped, and you can just bring it back onto the field. So Justy Break will not handicap the deck too much. Also, Justy Break can also work with Blue Eyes White Dragon. Your Blue Eyes White Dragons that are just kind of vibing on the field, you can use Justy Break, keep them alive. Use it with a Dark Magician deck. Dark Magician can easily use Justy Break. Justy Break would actually boost Dark Magician a little bit because Dark Magician is a normal monster and it's easily summonable. So Justy Break might be the next evolution for some decks. Gonna boost Dark Magician, Geminis can use it, and you can try it out in like Blue Eyes and Red Eyes and whatnot right here. You could also use this in a little D deck, so there you go, boys and girls. This card might actually see more play than I initially thought, but I'm excited to get this card. This is definitely a 3-0 card that I want to get because I love Geminis, and the fact that the Geminis can use this card makes me very happy. I've been itching to play a Gemini deck again. Let's go, baby. Expect a Gemini deck soon, because that'll probably be the first deck I'll work on with Justy Break, so that's awesome. Now we're going to be getting into the SR cards of this box, and the first one we're going to take a look at is DDD Gust High King Alexander, which is a 10-star win monster that states, it's a Fiend Synchro Effect monster, it takes 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. If 3 or more DDD monsters are on the field, this card gains 3,000 attack. If another DD monsters is normal or special summon to your field while this monster is on the field, except during the damage step, you can target a DD monster and graveyard special summon it. You can use the effect of DDD Gust High King Alexander once per turn. This card has 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Crazy cool card right here. Also, you can definitely tell this card was during the Arc 5 era, considering it says if 3 or more DDD monsters are on the field. Fun fact, we're playing Duel Links. We can't have more than 3 monsters on the field unless they have the extra monster zone for whatever reason. Still, nonetheless, this card is crazy good. DDDs, from what I can tell so far, can easily special summon themselves on the field, so this card with 6,000 attack would be devastating. Like, actually devastating. So I'm looking forward to trying out this guy. This guy looks cool. I can't wait to summon him, and the fact that you can get a 6,000 attack monster on the field is actually kind of scary. I'm very curious what tuner monsters that we have in this box to summon into this card, but at the same time, this is a generic card too. This is actually a generic 10-star synchro monster, which is also really cool too, so that is something to look out for too. If you, for whatever reason, just need a 10-star generic beat stick, there you go right there. That's cool. I like this card a lot. Awesome. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is an 8-star Dark Dragon effect monster. Cannot be normal summoned / set. It must be first special summoned from your hand by banishing one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck. It only can be one Malefic monster on the field. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack if there's no face of field spell card on the card. On the field, destroy this card. This card has 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Now, Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon falls on the same boat as Malefic Stars Dragon. By itself, it's not a good card. I would say though that I guess by itself it is a little better than Stars Dragon because Blue Eyes White Dragon, or Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon to be exact, is a little easier to summon because you just need to banish a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck. So there you go right there, which is really cool. And I just realized this. I think Malefic Stars Dragon can actually be special summoned for free by banishing a Stars Dragon from your extra deck. Ah, that makes more sense now. Okay, so I bet a million people corrected me in the comment section down below because I talked about Malefic Stars Dragon first. I did not even know that you can actually just summon this from your extra deck for free. Yeah, you can just banish a Stars Dragon from your extra deck and not be special summoned otherwise. Okay, I got confused real quick because for a second I thought you needed to have the monster special summon onto the field to even summon into Malefic Stars Dragon. Never mind, this card's actually not too bad because Malefic Stars Dragon would use a Stars Dragon from the extra deck, which doesn't take away from the deck, to summon this card for free. That's probably why this card's a UR and Blue Eyes White Dragon is labeled as an S-Star card. That makes more sense now. So at first I did not know that you can just summon the card for free by banishing the card from the deck or from the extra deck if you're talking about Stars Dragon. There you go. So yeah, I guess I would say that Stars Dragon would be slightly better then because you can easily summon it. But at the same time, Blue Eyes White Dragon does have 3,000 attack and you can banish one of your Blue Eyes right there. So that's cool. I did not know that. I still think that these cards are not that good by themselves because, you know, other monsters you control cannot declare an attack and if there's no face-up field spell card on the field, you have to destroy this card. Cards like Cosmic Cyclone can just pop your poor Malefic cards anyways. Like, if Malefics do become top tier, Cosmic Cyclone's going to be used even more than it already is. So they both still fall in that trap. But that's cool. You can just basically free summon this card as long as you have a field spell card. So we're definitely going to probably see Malefic players potentially use stuff like Power of Dark so that they don't need to worry about having the field spell up too. Yeah, I could definitely see how these cards might be alright. So there you go right there. I'd say this card's actually alright, especially comboed with the other Malefic cards. I'm very curious to try out Malefics. I definitely want to learn how to play this deck, so it now intrigues me now that I realize you can summon it a lot easier than I initially thought. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Malefic Rainbow Dragon, which is a 10-star Dark Dragon effect monster. Cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by removing play a Rainbow Dragon from your hand or deck. There can only be one face-up Malefic monster in the field. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. If there's no face-up field spell card on the field, destroy this card. I could easily see this card being super useful in like a farm deck or whatever. The fact that you could basically summon this 4K beast for free is pretty crazy. Play the skill Power of Dark, banish a Rainbow Dragon from your hand or deck, and then summon the sucker for free. Pretty crazy right there. And then yeah, combo with the other Malefic cards that allow you to attack for the other monsters and whatnot. You could probably do some devastating stuff. So same boat as the Blue Eyes and Stars Dragon, except it just has more attack. So cool right there. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at this SR card called Dino Wrestler. I'm going to call it Raptor. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but nonetheless, though, it's a 4-star Earth Dinosaur effect monster. This attack position card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card attacks, change to defense position at the end of the damage step. During the standby phase, this card is in defense position. You can special summon Dino Wrestler Raptor from your deck. You only can use the effect Dino Wrestler Raptor once per turn. So this card intrigues me a little bit because basically what this card allows you to do is that you get a free attack because it cannot be destroyed by battle, which is cool. And another thing that's neat about this is that if it is still alive during your standby phase, actually it says during the standby phase, and if it says during the standby phase, it might actually count for both players' turn, which if that's the case, your opponent's next turn during the standby phase, you can special summon another Dino Wrestler for free. That's actually kind of cool. So yeah, if I'm reading that effect right there, when it's your opponent's turn after you attack with this card, special summon a free Dino Wrestler card, and then you have your new Dino Wrestler card in attack position that cannot be destroyed. Then you have a bunch of Dino cards on the field, which can actually combo well with Miscellaneous Source because the fact that you can keep special summoning these Dino Wrestlers for free, you get a bunch of these Dino cards in the field and in the graveyard, combo it with Maliciosaurus, and then you can use Maliciosaurus effect to banish this card itself and one of your Dino Wrestlers in the graveyard to then special summon into a Dinosaur Boss monster. So both of these cards actually have some really good synergy with each other because you can summon into some big dinosaur monsters. So I actually like this card. It's a little cheeky card that you can use. Good turn 1 or good turn 2 card to kind of poke at your opponent, and then for late game you can combo this with Miscellaneous Source to kind of go for some crazy plays. So I actually like it. It's pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Guard Dragon and Drake, which is a 4-star wind monster, and I gotta say this card artwork looks really cool. This card is a dragon effect monster that states cannot be normal summoned / set, must be special summoned by a card effect. If this card is special summoned from the hand or deck, you can double this card's original attack and defense until the end of the next turn. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, or if this banished card is special summoned, you can target one monster opponent controls, destroy it, you only can use each effective guard dragon and Drake once per turn. This card is 2,000 attack and 600 defense, but if you special summon this card through a card effect, you can double its attack for until the end of the turn, which will make it a 4,000 attack, 1,200 defense monster. So I gotta say, this card's not too bad. I would need to look at some of the other guard dragon cards that we either have in this box or whatever, so I can see how easy it is to special summon this card, but I'd say this card's pretty cute. Easy 4-star monster that you can special summon for potentially 400 attack if you play your cards right. Pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the SR card Malefic Territory. This is a continuous spell card that states, when this card is activated, you can activate one Malefic world from your deck. While that card is in the field zone, neither player can target cards in the field zone with card effects. The Malefic monster effect, there can only be one face of Malefic monster in the field, becomes there can only be one face of Malefic monster on the field with the same name. During the end battle phase, negate the effects of face up Malefic monsters on the field. So this card is actually extremely useful for a couple of reasons. One, you can activate the Malefic world card from the deck onto the field, so if you choose to not play skills to give you a field spell right away, you can use Malefic Territory to search out for that field spell for your Malefics, get it onto the field, and on top of that, Malefic Territory protects your Malefic world field spell card, so you do not have to worry about Cosmic Cyclone. Your opponent would have to get rid of the Malefic Territory first, then would be able to get rid of your field spell card, which is very beneficial for you because without your Malefic field spell card, your monsters would get destroyed. So you definitely want some extra protection to not get popped, because like I said, Cosmic Cyclone is a very common trap card, not trap card, spell card in the game that can remove back row, but since it does state target, you can use Malefic Territory to stop Cosmic Cyclone from targeting your field spell card. On top of that too, Malefic Territory allows you to have more than one Malefic monster on the field, because now you change your Malefic monster's effect to state there can only be one face of Malefic monster on the field with the same name, and then during the battle phase, negate the effects of face of Malefic monsters on the field. So that means all your Malefic monsters can attack. So this card is super beneficial for the deck. Definitely a 3 of the deck, that's for sure, because it just gives your Malefic monsters even more power, which is awesome. So very good card for the archetype. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the card Dark Contract with the Gate, which is a continuous spell card. During your main phase, you can add one DD monster from your deck to your hand. You only can use the effect of Dark Contract with the Gate once per turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. This card is extremely useful because it is a free search for a DD monster, so you can search out for stuff like your DD Swirl Slime and then go for some DD plays, which is absolutely crazy. So Dark Contract with the Gate is very good. This is a continuous spell card, so after you activate this effect, it's face up on the field. So if you wanted to, you can consider running cards like Storm, where your opponent has back row cards. You activate your Dark Contract with the Gate to search out for your card, activate Storm, pop your Dark Contract with the Gate, and then pop your other opponent's cards, or pop your opponent's back row, and then you have an easier time to go for your combos because your opponent doesn't have any back row no more. Or you can play stuff like Double Cyclone, if I remember the card's name correctly, where you can pop your Dark Contract with the Gate, pop your opponent's card. You don't take that 1,000 damage down your next standby phase, and you get rid of one of your opponent's cards. So that's something to consider, which is really cool. But yeah, search card. If you play your cards right, you can get rid of this card with other cards to pop back row. I'm seeing why DDs could potentially be a threat in the game. So yeah, Dark Contract with the Gate, very good. Or you can also use this skill to take damage and then pop other Duel Links skills in the game, where when you lose life points, you can trigger certain effects. That's also something to consider with DDs. DDs might be very interesting. When people start getting their gears turning, they can probably build some really good DD decks, so that's really cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at another card that got leaked, Rainbow Bridge, which is now going to be officially in the game as an SR card, which is awesome. This card states, add one Crystal Spell and Trap card from your deck to your hand. Very simple, straight to the point, but it is a good card for the, what is it called? It's a very good card for the Crystal Beast archetype, because it's just a search card, which is awesome. So very cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Dark Contract with the Swamp King, which is an SR card. It's a continuous spell card that states, during your main phase, you can fusion summon one Fiend type fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from hand or field fusion materials. You only can use this effect of Dark Contract with the Swamp King once per turn. If summoning a DD fusion monster this way, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard as fusion material. Once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. So this card is really cool because the fact that you can use your graveyard cards to go for the fusion summon is awesome. So if you go for like a fusion summon with DD Swirl Slime to a King Genesis, you can use your DD Swirl Slime and your other DD monster in your graveyard to go for another fusion monster into a second King Genesis with Dark Contract of the Swamp King, which is actually pretty cool. So I like that. And also, if there's any generic Fiend type fusion monsters that we have in Duel Links, you can use this card's effect to summon into them. You couldn't use your graveyard material. You couldn't use cards in your graveyard to go for it, but it's still an option nonetheless. So yeah, I like this a lot. And yeah, this card's a Fiend monster right here. So Dark Contract of Swamp King is definitely going to be a good combo extender for the deck. I'm looking forward to trying out DDs because this deck seems pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the SR card called Crystal Conclave, another card that got leaked, which is now going to be in Duel Links on April 30th, which is awesome. This is a continuous trap card that states, once per turn, if a face-up Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Crystal Beast monster from your deck. You can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, then target a Crystal Beast monster you control and one card on the field return to the hand. You cannot activate these effects in the same chain. So this card is really good because basically when your Crystal Beast monsters get destroyed, you can special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your deck, which is going to help you get into summoning of Rainbow Dragon. And then also, if you send this face-up card to the field and then target Crystal Beast card you control, one card on the field returns to the hand. This is a good effect too because basically your Crystal monster gets destroyed, gets into the spell and trap card zone. You use your Crystal Conclave and your other face-up Crystal Beast monster in your spell and trap card zone, return them back to your hand, and then return one of your opponent's cards back to your hand. You go for the combos right there, and then hopefully you can use that to summon into Rainbow Dragon on your turn, and since your opponent's boss monsters return back to the hand, you can hopefully attack for game. So Crystal Conclave is pretty good for the archetype, especially for the fact that you can search for it with Rainbow Bridge. So maybe Crystal Beast will see some play in Duel Links, who knows? So the last SR card we're going to take a look at is Acid Trample. This is a generic trap card that states, target one face down defense position monster on the field, flip it face up, then destroy it if its defense is 2,000 or less, or return it face down if its defense is more than 2,000. So this card is cute. I don't know if we'll see that much play because not too many decks in the game play face down monsters, but in case if there's a flip meta, in case if Subterras are running like just ransom everywhere, you can play Acid Trap Hole, target those face down defense position monsters on the field, make that sucker flip up, and then destroy it if its defense is really high, and then if not, you can return it back down. So it's a cute card. I don't think it's gonna see that much play, but hey, could be a good side deck card for like a Subterra match or something like that in tournaments. I could see that working out, but other than that, I don't really have much hope for this card. A couple other things I just want to quickly take a look at is that we also have a Ritual Cypress monster, which is really cool. Paladin of the Storm Dragon. You can use Ritual summon this card to sign it Ritual, and then yeah, at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a monster, you can turn that monster to the hand. You can tribute this card, special summon a 5 or higher Cyberse monster from your hand or deck. Cannot activate its effects this turn, so I think you can use Paladin of Storm Dragon to potentially summon into Degrade Buster. And probably not, because it cannot be normal summon set. It must be for a special summon for your hand. But still, you have some combos with Paladin right there. Really cool to see Cypress cards in the game. I like this a lot. There's also some other really cool cards that we can take a look at for DDDs. We have Gust King Alexander right here, which is pretty cool. We got some other fusion targets we can take a look at. This card right here, Oracle King D'Arc. We have Wave Oblivion, King Caesar Ragnarok, some powerful monsters right here. We have Dragonbane King Beowulf. DDDs are looking to be a very deadly fusion deck, that is for sure. We also have some cool stuff right here, like DDD Dragon King Pendragon. This thing looks badass. Oh my god, I love this artwork. This thing's sick. There's also some other stuff too. We have some other Dino Wrestlers, it looks like. This box is honestly looking like a lot of fun. We have a tuner monster right here. That's cool. Like, there's just so much stuff to take a look at for yourself. So yeah, if you guys want to read some of these rare and normal cards, definitely go to the description down below. I'll put the link of this website in the description down below. But yeah, this box is honestly really cool. I think DDDs are going to make an impact. We got cute stuff like Justy Rake. We got, you know, cute Dinosaur Support. We got some Malefic stuff that could be cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in the game, but I think DDDs might make an impact in this game. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying them out, that is for sure. But nonetheless, though, I'm going to be wrapping up the video right here, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's box review video, you guys know what to do. Smash the like button on the video down below and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to live stream my reaction of all the packs that I open up. I got a ton of gems saved up, ready to go in this box, and I cannot wait to make some content for you guys, so be tuned to the YouTube channel. Nonetheless, though, thank you so much for watching, and I'll go see you guys next Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Peace out, everybody.